literally sleeping in the back, and they shot it.
My child and my wife are in this van. Can you step back from my door, please? Right, okay. Now!
Oh, fuck!
Is that a gunshot?
Exploring with Owen is a channel focused on adventure, ranging from urban exploration and wilderness camping to occasional encounters in remote or abandoned locations. Most of the time, his content centers on the journey itself. But when you spend enough time in isolated places, unexpected situations can arise.
Tonight, I'm going to be camping overnight in the forest by myself. As you can see, I'm still packing my stuff. I have my clothing in here, I have an air mattress and a lantern in this backpack, and I've got my power bank charging right here. And over here, I have my tent and my blankets.
From the beginning of this trip, something felt unusual. Owen heard a loud crash in the distance, similar to the sound of a tree falling, yet he couldn't see what had caused it.
Alright guys, I just got dropped off with all my stuff, but I was walking just barely with my stuff and I heard a giant crash over there, over in that direction. It literally sounded like a tree falling over. I don't know what that was. I just really hope there's not people in this forest, because that actually scared me so bad. Into the woods we go.
In a forest, trees do fall. It isn't uncommon, especially in windy conditions. But when you're alone and already feeling exposed, even ordinary sounds can feel intensified. Owen continued forward, eventually finding a flat clearing suitable for camping. He began setting up his tent without issue. The process went smoothly. However, as he started arranging his sleeping area, the forest drew his attention once again.
Now guys, I'm probably gonna inflate my air mattress and set up my bed. I just heard sticks now. I'm not even kidding. They came from like over that way. I'm hoping that's just the wind. Alright, now we got the air mattress inflating right here. As you can see, I have a pump right there. So now we just wait. Alright guys, the air mattress just got done inflating, but I think the pump is low on batteries because as you can see, it's really squishy still. But once I lay down and my weight disperses, it's... Is that a gunshot? But once I lay down and my weight disperses, it's... Is that a gunshot? I literally think I just heard a gunshot. I don't know if that picked up on camera. I hope it did. Bro, I don't want this to be a scary video. It's just supposed to be solo camping.
A gunshot echoed through the area. Hearing a gunshot in an isolated forest while camping alone is not something anyone expects. Still, Owen attempted to remain calm and continue with his plans. He finished preparing his bed, ate a meal of spaghetti and meatballs with baked beans, and tried to settle down for the evening. At approximately 9:20 p.m., he decided to turn in for the night and watched YouTube videos before going to sleep. At around 2 a.m., the situation changed.
Guys, I just woke up. It's like 2 a.m. and I just heard footsteps outside of the tent. Literally woke me up. It was so loud. I don't know, I feel like I kind of want to go out and check, but I'm kind of scared too. I think we're going to go out and check. I might just walk around and look at the area. It is so dark out. This, guys. I can't even see a thing on camera. It's so dark. Let me see if my phone flashlight's better. I think it's a little better. There we go. Yeah, that's definitely better. I'm just gonna use my phone flashlight. You know what? I'll use both. The footsteps came from like over here. They sounded like it was right here. My tent is right there. Wait, guys, what is this? There's some sort of marking on the tree. It's kind of creepy. I wonder what that's for. It's so creepy over this way. I'm gonna just walk around for a minute though, I guess.
After hearing unusual activity, he briefly stepped outside to investigate, but found nothing definitive. With no clear explanation, he returned to his tent, reinflated his air mattress, and attempted to rest again. Shortly after, another sound emerged.
Hello? I'm not sleeping here. I am not sleeping here. I'm shaking so bad. I'm packing my stuff and I'm getting out of here. I legit forgot I was recording that. I'm shaking so bad. Look at my hand.
This time, the noise resembled footsteps. What unsettled him most was that the footsteps sounded distinctly human. That detail made the experience more disturbing than if it had been wildlife. Feeling shaken, Owen made the decision to leave immediately. He gathered his valuables, exited the tent, mounted his bike, and rode out of the forest as quickly as possible. He did not return until the following morning to retrieve the rest of his equipment. Even then, the fear from the night before remained. Whether it was another person moving through the woods or something else entirely remains unknown. To this day, Owen has no clear explanation for what circled his tent that night. What he does know is that it was the most frightening experience he has ever had while camping alone. Wild Bliss Bunny is a YouTube creator known for stealth camping in unconventional locations. Her videos often feature overnight stays in places like Walmart parking lots, behind 7-Elevens, and even near abandoned warehouses. Her content typically focuses on creativity, adaptability, and making small spaces feel comfortable. But even in urban environments, unexpected situations can arise. On this occasion, Bunny chose to camp in a ring of redwood trees located in the middle of a city area. When she arrived, she noticed a couple sitting at a nearby picnic table, close to where she intended to set up. She waited patiently for them to leave before moving in.
All right, guys, we got lucky. That was indeed them. They left. Here's the picnic table, and as you can see, we are now in this expansive ring of redwood trees that is in the middle of this urban environment where cars can walk by, people can walk by. So our mission now is gonna be to find a little tucked away spot that we can set up and camp for the night. Oh my gosh. I cannot even believe this, you guys. I can't even make this up. There is a bunny right here. Are you kidding me? I guess this is where we're gonna set up camp because, like, come on.
While surveying the area, she noticed a small bunny figurine sitting nearby. Given her channel name, Wild Bliss Bunny, the discovery felt symbolic. She interpreted it as a positive sign that she had chosen the right spot. She began setting up her tent. However, almost immediately, her camera tripod tipped over, breaking the receiver for her microphone. It was an unfortunate setback, especially at the start of the night. Still, she continued. After some effort, she managed to get the tent assembled. It was compact, clearly designed for one person, but it featured awning-style extensions that created a more open feel. Once inside, she began arranging her bedding and preparing to settle in for the night. That was when the situation changed.
Hey guys, I gotta abandon camp. I'm here in my tent. I was about to get my bedding situated, but some dude, so there was this guy on the bike and he kept like doing circles around, and then he sat at the bench that I showed you earlier, the table, and then he like went and sat by a tree, and I was like, what is going on? And then I thought he left, and then he came and he said knock knock after I like set up my tent and everything, and I'm like, why are you knock knocking? You know, why are you circling around on your bike and like making it like you left? And then after I'm like here and get my stuff all situated and set up, come up and say knock knock in the dark, like he doesn't even have a light or anything. So way too sketchy, and I'm gonna have to abandon camp tonight because that is not the business right there. So darn, too bad. This was a cool spot, but not anymore.
As a woman camping alone at night, she remained aware of her surroundings. When an unfamiliar man approached her tent in the dark, the interaction immediately raised concern. It was not a normal or welcome encounter. She did not recognize him, and the approach felt intrusive. Her instincts told her the situation was not safe. Rather than hesitate, she chose to trust that instinct. She packed her belongings quickly and decided to leave the campsite.
That suitcase wasn't here before. Wonder if it's that guy's. Where is that guy? Anyways, we're getting out of here. Way too creepy, man. Way too creepy.
It is possible the interaction was harmless. The individual may not have intended to cause fear, and his behavior could have been socially unaware rather than malicious. However, when alone at night, especially while camping, there is little room for uncertainty. Personal safety must take priority. The experience served as a reminder that unsettling encounters do not only happen in remote wilderness or abandoned locations. They can occur in urban spaces as well. What appeared at first to be a quiet and manageable camping spot quickly became uncomfortable. This encounter was shared on the YouTube channel, The Taylor. On December 3rd, 2023, the Taylor family, husband, wife, and their child, set out for a holiday weekend trip in their camper van. They traveled through the Peak District, passing through Buckton in the Goit Valley. The drive was scenic and peaceful, with quiet roads and small towns that made the journey feel like an ideal getaway. As evening approached, they chose a place to park for the night near a reservoir, close to what appeared to be a public park or footpath. They settled in, and at first, everything seemed normal. But as the night progressed, something changed. It began subtly, then grew increasingly uncomfortable. What had started as a relaxing camping trip slowly shifted into something far more disturbing.
Tucked ourselves away into the corner of what looked to be a small car parking area by the footpath that went up to the reservoir, and we started to prep the van for the night. Outside, we started to hear something that wasn't just Maximus or his tablets. So I opened the door to find a woman confronting Maximus, holding a German Shepherd by the neck, pulling him back, trying to intimidate Maximus. I stepped out and put myself between Maximus and the lady. Then she came at me. It was very strange. She then went off in a huff because I wouldn't be intimidated by her and a German Shepherd. We've owned German Shepherds. Not intimidated by Shepherds at all, even though she was trying to hold him, pulling his head up and making his heckles stand.
After parking, Taylor heard movement outside and stepped out to check on Maximus, their son. What he saw immediately raised concern. A woman was standing nearby, confronting Maximus. She appeared to be intentionally intimidating him by allowing her German Shepherd to move close enough to frighten him. Maximus had done nothing to provoke her. He wasn't interacting with her or interfering in any way. Despite that, she seemed focused on scaring him. Taylor quickly positioned himself between his son and the woman. Instead of de-escalating the situation, she redirected her attention toward Taylor. She continued to allow the dog to behave aggressively, now directing that intimidation toward him as well. The interaction felt hostile and entirely unprovoked. In a quiet public setting, the behavior was unexpected and unsettling. And as uncomfortable as that moment was, it would not be the last incident of the night.
He just didn't intimidate me at all, and I wasn't bothered by him or her, or really the things she had to say. She wasn't being very nice. She definitely wasn't nice to Maximus. Anyway, she walked off, and we thought nothing more of it until this. Can I help you?
No, can I help you?
My child and my wife are in this van. Can you step back from my door, please?
Right,
now. No, step back out of my personal space. Step back out of my personal space.
No, you listen, mate.
The way he spoke and swore, knocking on the door and coming right in my face. You're a disgrace for coming up to my
Don't
child.
you say that.
Don't start.
No,
Don't start.
We'll get the
Don't
police.
start.
All right, mate.
Oh dear, what absolutely delightful human beings. I just don't understand people. Number one, the woman with the shep. And then number two, the old fella who clearly wanted a fight. I mean, the way he went up to the window. And then wouldn't move back out of the space, swearing in front of Maximus, shouting in front of Maximus. And yes, you know, I am guilty of responding, but well, what are you supposed to do when someone will not step out of your doorway and is leaning in and trying to intimidate you, pointing their finger in your face and then threatening me out here? You've got to tell them this just isn't right. Now, Michelle wanted to call the police because obviously that is threatening and intimidating behaviour, what just transpired then, for basically parking in a place that has no restriction signs, no overnight parking signs. Now, they do say, it does say private road, but we came up and there was residential houses all the way up and we didn't see a private road sign. I will check back. When I got home, I checked who owns the road and I used to find my street, and as you can see, it's maintained at the public expense, so it's a public highway. We are gonna have to leave now anyway because Maximus will not stay here. He won't settle here now after that. So we've moved and we're on the other side of the reservoir, and after that altercation, I'm just keeping an eye on for you. I don't really want to move again, but the only problem with coming to somewhere where people are is, of course, you have to share the space. Now, it is only 8:30 on a Saturday, so, you know, they're only having a bit of a campfire and playing some banging tunes, but, you know, it's not good for us. Maximus has just obviously been very upset, and Shell's just sorting him out now. I'm just letting Freya have a whittle.
Although no one was physically harmed, the emotional impact remained. Maximus was visibly shaken, and the family was left unsettled by how quickly a peaceful evening had turned hostile. They had been parked on what appeared to be public land, yet they were made to feel unsafe and unwelcome. It became one of the most bizarre and troubling experiences of their trip, a reminder that the greatest risk on the road is not always the location itself, but the people you unexpectedly encounter. Meet James, the creator behind the YouTube channel, What's Up with James. James explores abandoned and forgotten spaces, uncovering their histories and documenting the atmosphere of each location. His passion for exploration often takes him to remote and unsettling places, all captured on camera. But on the night of November 11th, 2022, what was meant to be a routine overnight stay turned into a disturbing and life-threatening encounter. During a recent exploration, James chose to spend the night at a secluded abandoned building. After filming throughout the day, he settled into the back of his truck to sleep. The area was quiet. As he drifted in and out of rest, he heard a vehicle approaching. At first, it didn't seem unusual. Then everything changed.
So a bunch of guys just pulled up and shot my truck with me in it. I was literally sleeping in the back, and they shot it up right there.
Yeah, so that was pretty crazy because these guys pulled up, and you know, I don't know. I think hopefully it was just a bunch of kids or whatever, but even hopefully. But so I'm in the truck, and these guys pulled up, and I heard them pull up, and I was like, okay, well, I'm at this building because I was staying at that abandoned place, and I'm at this building, and man, it was crazy. They just started shooting at my truck, and I'm in it. So I ducked down. I was like, oh my God. Like, I ducked down. I was like, okay, well, they're shooting at the glass, whatever. And then I heard them take off, and I just got out and, basically got in the front, checked it out, got in the front, and drove off because I'm not going to stay there tonight. Obviously, not after that. You know what I mean?
Without warning, gunshots shattered the silence. Multiple rounds were fired directly at his truck while he was still inside. James immediately ducked down as bullets struck the glass and metal around him. The sound of impact was unmistakable. His vehicle was being targeted. His heart raced as he stayed low, waiting for the attack to stop. Only after he heard the other vehicle speeding away did he cautiously assess the damage. His truck had been hit several times. The windows were shattered, and the interior was left damaged. The realization of how close he had come to being seriously injured was immediate.
I mean, I haven't found any rounds yet. They're small. It's 22 probably, right, or something. But I haven't seen any rounds in here or anything. My truck's a mess. But yeah. So aside from needing a new window, I'm okay. That was scarier than any paranormal experience or anything like that I could have. That was pretty wild. You're sitting in your truck and it's being shot at, like, regardless of whether it's a small caliber or not. That was a pretty scary experience.
So you hit it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times, and it's falling apart. I decided to go home. I had to stop and put gas, but I decided to go home after this because I got to get this fixed because this is my daily driver. It was pretty crazy. Like, I did hear them pull up, but I was still like half asleep, right? I think I even have toothpaste in my mustache still, like, because that's like 2 feet away from my head. But so I was like half asleep. They pulled up. I was like, whatever, you know what I mean? And then started shooting. And I was like, oh my God, it was just crazy. It's a weird situation. So, but yeah, I did decide to go home. So I'm filling up with gas now.
He later suspected the rounds were small caliber, possibly .22, but the force of the impact was undeniable. The shock of being shot at while asleep inside his vehicle was unlike anything he had experienced before. James escaped without physical injury. However, the psychological impact of the attack was significant. The sense of vulnerability, knowing someone had deliberately fired at him in an isolated location, left a lasting mark. That night served as a stark reminder. Abandoned places may carry an eerie atmosphere, but the most unpredictable danger often comes from other people, especially when their intentions remain unknown. In October 2023, a British YouTuber named Gaz uploaded a video to his channel, Grizzly Gaz. His content focuses on outdoor exploration, and he regularly shares footage of his camping and hiking trips across the UK. In this video, Gaz and his dog Fendi set out on an overnight camping trip in a woodland area somewhere in the UK. According to Gaz, the forest has long been associated with pagan rituals. For centuries, it has reportedly been used as a ceremonial site, and even today, there are accounts of rituals taking place beneath a large tree at night. Despite that history, Gaz decided to spend the night there. As he began exploring, he ventured deeper into the woods in search of a suitable campsite. While doing so, he made it his goal to locate the large tree said to be at the center of these ritual gatherings. After walking for some time, he eventually found it. That discovery marked the beginning of a troubling night.
You enjoying yourself there, mate? I think I found it. Don't know, does this look like a pagan ritual site? I'll tell you one thing, it looks creepy, so let's camp here, shall we? I can't see any pagan markings are out like that. Right then, let's get set up, shall we?
After locating the ritual site, Gaz made the decision to set up his tent nearby. Once camp was established, he returned to the tree to take a closer look. At that moment, he neither saw nor heard anything unusual. It appeared that he and Fendi were alone. They returned to the campsite, prepared dinner, and settled into the tent as night fell. That was when the situation began to change.
Let's go back up to the tent. So I did a hot tent camp last week. I don't think it's for me, isn't that?
They both heard unexplained noises coming from the forest. Gaz and Fendi focused on the direction of the sound, listening carefully. The noises continued for nearly 10 minutes. Gaz attempted to rationalize what he was hearing. Eventually, the sound stopped, and he concluded they were likely branches falling from the trees. But moments later, the noises resumed. This time, they were louder and closer.
I can definitely hear something out there. Oh, that's nice, isn't it, mate? Hell, that were a big branch, wasn't it?
Hearing the sounds again, Gaz stepped outside the tent to investigate. Despite searching the area, he found nothing that could explain the disturbance. What unsettled him most was that the noises resembled the sound of trees being cut.
That were a big branch, wasn't it?
If the sounds were indeed coming from someone cutting trees, the situation became more concerning, especially given how close his camp was to the ritual site. If anyone using that area saw him nearby, the encounter could escalate quickly. Still, Gaz chose not to dwell on that possibility and returned to the tent. However, as he tried to process what he had heard, something else occurred, something that shifted the tone of the night entirely.
Trees keep falling from old branches, and they're pretty close, but I checked to make sure there were no widowmakers out here, so... Oi!
Gaz began hearing additional strange noises. While listening closely, he noticed objects striking the side of his tent, as if something was being thrown at it. He called out, asking if anyone was there. There was no response. At that point, it became clear that someone was outside the campsite. The uncertainty of who it was, or what they intended, intensified the fear. Gaz remained inside the tent, despite growing anxiety. But what happened next would escalate the situation further.
I think it's just wind. Let's pick it back up again now. That'd be no good, would it, mate? Oh, dear. Get this pillow. Oh! Down. Where the Fendi! Fendi! Right, come here. Come here. Right, I'm going to turn this light off.
The side of the tent was suddenly pushed inward with force. Fearing for their safety, Gaz and Fendi immediately exited the tent and ran from the campsite. They managed to put distance between themselves and the immediate threat. Later, Gaz explained that when he briefly returned to retrieve his car keys, he saw approximately 20 individuals near the ritual site. According to him, they were shouting and moving in his direction. He quickly grabbed his keys and left the woods. The following morning, Gaz returned to collect his remaining belongings. He discovered that much of his camping equipment had been taken, and what remained was damaged. It remains unclear whether the individuals intended direct harm. However, their actions suggested they did not want him camped near their ritual site and sought to intimidate him into leaving. They succeeded. Gaz has not returned to that forest since.
Where's my cook kit? My cook kit were over here somewhere. Don't mind people scaring you and stuff out of woods, but when they're just going to break stuff as well, what's the point in that?
And that's it for today's video. If you enjoyed this video, leaving a like helps support the channel. Subscribe if you'd like to see more documented encounters in future uploads.